Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Ferris State Volleyball. I'm joined by head coach Tia Brandel-Wilhelm. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Good to be back for another year.
Welcome back to the Lower Peninsula as well. Long road trip, I know, this past weekend, but got to be pleased with the way your team played, winning 3 consecutive matches up there.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with the level of play in the GLIAC this year. So I feel like anytime we're getting wins, we're really excited, and yeah, and that's it's a cool road trip. Actually, a lot of people say it's a tough one, but we just think it's so much fun to get on a bus and just be totally together as a team for that length of time. It's really fun.
Before we get into those matches this past weekend, obviously you had a tough start to the year with a couple very tough, challenging tournaments at Western Washington and at Hillsdale to kind of start the season.
Yeah, yep, we're a pretty young team, and we played some pretty cool opponents. So, we started off, I thought there were things that we were doing well and things that we weren't, but we didn't get wins early on, but they weren't like games that really mattered in the scheme of everything, and we loved that we were out there, playing tough opponents and really being challenged. So I think our team just has had, since January, really just the idea that we just, we challenge ourselves, we set high expectations, and we just try to get a little better every day.
Obviously, you started off this weekend in the Upper Peninsula at Michigan Tech on Friday, and always a tough opponent to play, a tough place to play, and your team fortunately came out and got a big victory.
We love playing at Tech. We love the energy of the gym. They have such a good volleyball culture right now. They have, good fans in the gym, lots of energy. So and Tech is a really good opponent. So we love it. It's always a really fun trip for us.
Obviously, after the win over Michigan Tech, you came back Saturday, took on Northern Michigan as we go to the highlights, and another place that's tough to play, and another team that's been very good in recent years.
Yeah, Northern's been good for the 2 decades I've been coaching here. So it's always a cool place to play. They have a really good fan base that's really into the game. They recognize good volleyball. They're very enthusiastic for their players, and it's just it's a good environment to play in.
How important was it to get off to a great start here in this opening set against them?
I mean, we're obviously really happy that we did, but I think for us, we just know the quality of team that Northern is, and for us it was just really about, take this point, learn what we can from it, move on to the next point.
Obviously, you mentioned you've got some new kids, some young kids, and some players that have kind of changed roles maybe over where they were at last season.
Yeah, we have, I mean, pretty much everyone else there is in their first or second year in the program, so, and not many of them have played before this year. So it's a lot of new stuff, but it's such an athletic group and such a just willing group. Like, they're just willing to work hard every day and willing to be challenged and willing to step up and learn new things and to go out there and to try it, and it's just a really fun group to coach.
How important is it to have a kind of a veteran at the setter position, Kaylee Matt, that is kind of in her 3rd season leading the team?
Yeah, Kaylee has come a long way. She's had an unorthodox career so far. Starting as a freshman in that COVID year was, it's just a really big difference. And she's just kind of that driven player that works really hard to get a little bit better every day. And she hates any time she's not doing great. So she comes in and she watches film and she does extra sessions, and she's always trying to just perfect that next thing and just get a little bit better.
Obviously, you get a big win here over Northern Michigan, 3-0, and always great to get off to a great start on a road trip like that. When you're playing 3 matches, a little bit different of a weekend than you'll see most of the time during conference play.
Yeah, usually conference play is 2 in a weekend, but we've been playing 4 pretty much every weekend so far. So 3 was kind of a luxury for us, but it was a fun trip. The teams, you're traveling around, you're on the bus, and it's just a good time with the team, and we got to do. We watched a movie and did some team building, things like that. It's just fun to hang out together.
Closed out the trip on Sunday at Lake Superior State, and I know we talked before we went on the show, a team that's been much improved here over the course of the season. Yeah,
very, very improved. They don't have a lot of wins yet, but they will. And they've got a new coach. They've got, kind of an older team, like a lot of juniors out there and a couple transfers, and they just, they play really hard, and it's a really tough team to play against.
Obviously, here in this first set, they got off to a great start, but your kids battled back and found a way to get the win. Yeah,
we definitely battled. It was a full team effort, getting every single one of those points.
Obviously, playing on the road, what are the challenges here in the GLIAC in terms of not only the travel, but dealing with kind of a unique environment, a little bit different than you have at home?
Yeah, well, we're kind of on the road this year at home too, so just not having our own gym right now. And I just don't think, I think for this team, like it doesn't really faze them. They'll go anywhere, play anybody under whatever circumstances. They're just not really fazed by things like that. So I think they see, those kind of things as fun and make it more interesting. And yeah, and they love the crowds for sure when we're on the road. It's just a lot of fun.
Maybe talk about how much some of your players have grown since the beginning of the season to where they are here at this point in conference action.
We don't have enough time in the show to talk about that. This is just one of those teams that, I know I say it all the time. We've been doing the show for, I don't know, a couple decades now, but I always say, 1% better every day, and this team is the definition of that. And sometimes we get 5% better in a day, and it's just amazing, and it's so fun to see. But I love the way this team works together. So many of our players are improving, and so many of them are improving that you don't get to see on game day. We have a lot of players that, that aren't out there playing a whole lot, but they get better every day, and that's making our gym better. And, the level of play that you have to play, in practice every day is getting higher. So all of it combines together to just really create that atmosphere that's every coach's dream, where you're focused on the day and you're just trying to make small improvements.
Obviously, amidst a long road stretch here, a couple more matches on the road this weekend, but
yep.
At least a little shorter in terms of travel as you go to Davenport and Saginaw Valley State coming up this weekend.
It'll be like a home match, right? So we'll be so close. Yeah, we've been on the road a lot, and yeah, we're road warriors. You got to win on the road if you want to try to be a good team. So, we do the best we can.
How challenging is it to beat some of these teams in the GLIAC? I know you mentioned the competition in the GLIAC, and obviously any given night, anyone's capable of beating anyone else.
Yeah, that is exactly the case. So every time, if you get a win, if things go well for you, you just got to be really grateful and enjoy that for a few minutes. And this year, it's different because we have 10 teams and we play that double round robin. So, we just played Northern and Tech, and in a week and a half we'll play them again. So it's that turnaround and seeing everybody twice, and I think it's a little bit of that iron sharpening iron. Everybody's getting a little bit better in the conference too, so it'll definitely be interesting.
Well, Coach, congratulations on beating
Thanks.
Start in the GLIAC, and best of luck as you travel to Davenport on Friday and Saginaw on Saturday.
Thanks.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.